return. When we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. Oh, when it's time to lend a hand.
Here in Geneva, where we are, it's home to so many headquarters of various organisations, the UN, the World Trade Organisation and the World Health Organisation. They have now said that this pandemic is the defining health crisis of our lifetime, saying governments around the world need to be testing and confirming coronavirus cases. Once they find them, they need to isolate them.
God's great big family and the truth, you know love is all we need. We are the children. We are the ones who make it right every day. So let's start giving.
Today, China's President Xi Jinping warned it was spreading. And indeed, scientists at Imperial College London suggest as many as 4,000 people were infected by January the 18th, and that each person was infecting as many as 3 others, showing how hard this will be to contain. With pressure growing on the Chinese government, much of the country has now declared a level 1 public health alert.
Some very difficult changes that we have asked Australians to make, and in many cases in relation to the operation of businesses, some very difficult changes, which means that they will need to close their doors, and that also means that their staff will no longer be able to turn up to work and have employment. These are very difficult changes that we're asking Australians to make. I want to assure all Australians again that these decisions are not being made by premiers and chief ministers and myself lightly.
Behind the majority of overseas countries in terms of cases. But the trajectory is very clear. Act now or risk the virus taking hold as it has elsewhere. We currently have 102 cases, but so did Italy once. Now the virus has overwhelmed their health system and hundreds of people are dying every day.
We are soldiers fighting this invisible virus, and we enter the trenches every day when we go into the hospital, whether it's in our emergency rooms, whether it's in our intensive care unit.
Meanwhile, in Italy, authorities said on Sunday that a further 651 people had died from the coronavirus. That's fewer than Saturday's record number of deaths, but it's still the second worst day so far. Italy has closed non-essential businesses to try to control the outbreak, and outside help is on the way. Doctors from Cuba and medical supplies from Russia have been dispatched to help support the overwhelmed medical system.
Those sacrifices that today can look like a step backwards will allow us tomorrow to come back soon into our factories, into our offices, into our squares, into the arms of relatives and friends. We are giving up our beloved habits because we love Italy, but we won't give up our confidence in the future. United, we will make it.
Uniti ce la faremo.
Sheer magnitude of the virus outbreak is like a wave about to overtake the U.S. healthcare system. More than 43,000 sick, at least 550 dead. To help relieve that burden, tens of millions of Americans have been told to stay at home. So far, at least 20 states have already implemented or announced closures of non-essential businesses.
We are the epicenter of this crisis.
With more than 12,000 positive test results, New York City has more cases than any one single location in the country.
Thank you very much.
a very busy day. I want to thank the American people for the incredible sacrifices that they're making on behalf of our nation. And I want to encourage everyone to keep following our guidelines on social distancing, avoiding large gatherings and hand washing and all of the other things that everybody knows they're supposed to be doing. Ultimately, the goal is to ease the guidelines and open things up